What's going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about Von Miller, NFL player. You see, this is a classic example of be careful who you choose to date and get pregnant. Because I've spoken about Von Miller before and his relationship with Megan Denise, an Instagram model that he was apparently going to marry, but all of that sort of went by the wayside relatively out of nowhere. They went from having this strong relationship. She had his name tattooed on her, which she pretty much covered up, by the way. We'll get to that later. And now, when it was exposed that he did not want to have a child with Megan Denise, she put out these messages, and they were not a good look for Von Miller. But over the last couple of months, it seemed as though they were able to patch things up. But because the baby is due, she does not want him. She did not want him in the delivery room. And to me, I think that she was always going to do this. And I believe she was going to do this because she wants to prove a point to Von. And she knew how much that would mean to him. So, and this reminds me of the Erica Mena situation with Safari. She did not want him in the living room because she knew how much that would mean to him. And he'll never have the memory of being able to watch his child be born. And Von Miller the same way. And it did seem like Von Miller did not want to have the child, but we don't know the circumstances. We don't know the conversations. We don't know the backstory. But we'll get into this article. We'll get into what Von Miller had to say. This is according to Bro Bible. Von Miller is angry he wasn't invited in the delivery room for his baby's birth months after he allegedly told ex-girlfriend he wished she had a miscarriage. On Wednesday, Miller complained that Denise didn't invite him to the baby shower and also angry he's not allowed in the delivery room for the first of his child. See, this is what Von Miller had to say here. There are so many children that go without their father, and there are so many fathers that don't want to be in their child's life or have anything to do with them. You would think the fathers that want to be 100% in their child's, especially the ones that have everything at their disposal to be an amazing dad, you would let them, right? Make it make sense. What sense does it make to keep the father from the birth or away from the child? You only end up hurting the child. Make it make sense. He also said, some people can't be pleased, no matter how hard you try, no matter what you've done for them. Simply believing it is what it is will save your mental health. Just can't change certain things. If you keep trying to change situations or make situations better, those people become anchors around your neck, dragging you down. You just gotta let certain people stay where they at. What will be, will be. It is what it is. Nowadays, common sense ain't common. As you can see there, that's her. And listen, I'm not a fan whatsoever of keeping fathers away from their children. That's not right. And looking at what Von Miller just said, Von Miller made a mistake. Von Miller got angry. Again, we don't know the full context of why he was so angry with her. For either it was the breakup or the fact that she got pregnant and maybe she told him she couldn't get pregnant. Because you got women, right? And I'm not saying, because listen, I have no issue with Megan Denise. I have no issue with her at all. But we have to look at all the aspects of this situation, and we have to get to the root as to why Von Miller was so upset at her in those text messages. I'll put the link to the video commentary I did about it in the description, so y'all can get the context of what I'm saying. Excellent commentary by me, of course. Make sure you like this video too. We don't know why he was that angry to say, you know what, I hope you have a miscarriage. We don't know. Now, it could be because he didn't want to have the child, of course. But Von Miller changed his tune. He wanted to name his child. He wanted to be able to right the wrongs that he made. And we should be allowed to make mistakes and be able to come back from those mistakes. Because like Von Miller said, you're only hurting the child. Von Miller's going to go on with his life. Von Miller can go and have more children with a different woman who he may choose to marry, which is going to hurt her feelings even more. Or you can put that aside and say, you know what? It ain't about my feelings. It ain't about me. It's about the child. What better storybook ending to this drama than for him to embrace his child, him being able to hold this child in the delivery room, and being able to be the father that he seems to want to be. But of course, he can't, because it's all about her. A lot of these modern women are so comfortable being single mothers. I hope Megan Denise understands that it doesn't matter that you covered up his name on your chest. It doesn't matter how good you believe that you look or other men think that you look. You're still going to be a single mother. And a lot of men still are not going to take you seriously, especially a guy that has the fame, the money, the resources of a Von Miller. So I just don't know why these women are so comfortable being single mothers. They're so comfortable cutting the biological father out of the child's life. Why? Because he doesn't want to be with you? Because that's what it seems like to me. It seems to me that Von doesn't want to be with her anymore. And she's taking it out on the father-son relationship that he wants to have with his child. He wants to be in this child's life. He made a mistake. He wants to right that wrong, but it's up to Megan Denise to understand that. That's why he's talking about common sense. No, Von, common sense is not common anymore. People are so emotional, especially a lot of these women. They're so emotional. You don't want to be with them, but you still want to be a father. Yes, he said that he hoped that she'd have a miscarriage. Do you know how much crap couples talk to each other all the time, but they end up either staying together or being able to co-parent? I can understand if after these months after the text message of what he said was leaked, that he still doesn't want to be a father to the child. And she says, you know what? I don't want your energy around me. But they seemingly were on good terms up until now, up until the birth of the child. You see, a lot of these women want to control their situation. They want to have control over their children, but you're only harming that child. That child deserves to have both parents, whether you like it or not. And a lot of these women don't understand that you need to put your feelings aside. You need to put your feelings aside and stop trying to win some sort of tit for tat game with these guys, because you're only harming the children. The children need both parents, not one parent. They need both parents. Let's get back to this article. As you can see here, people are but this is what Von Miller had to say about the situation. You know what's interesting? There was a text message exchange that occurred. Let's see if I can get the text message up. There was a text message exchange that happened with Megan Denise and I believe an associate of hers. I'm gonna put it up here so y'all can see it. This is according to Wags Unfiltered. I think that's how you say it. Now, in the text messages, she is talking with someone about how the name Valor was a name that he had chosen, right? But that's not the name that she's gonna go by. And she's talking about how, karma is real, how she's not naming the child Valor. See, this is why Von should have been very careful about who he impregnated. Because it's clear to me that she don't want you to be part of this child's life. She don't. She's ready to move on to some other guy. And she's ready to cut you out of her life, which is sad because he needs to be a father to his child, whether y'all get along or not. You have to put the babies first. Don't put your feelings first. Listen, if I'm running a business and I have a business partner and there's certain things we don't agree on, but we do good business together, we don't have to be buddies. We don't have to be besties. We just have to do enough to get the job done, be cordial with each other, but that's about it. We don't need to be buddies with each other. We just need to be able to work with each other. We just need to be able to make money. Okay. We need to be able to make money together. We don't need all that extra stuff. And let me tell y'all the tattoo that she covered up. Now this had Vonnie on it. And as you can see, she covered it up. Now I don't know if that's paint or she got it tattooed, because I've seen a couple of pictures where she had this. So she's basically covered up his name. That lets you know that she's already probably moving on to some other guy, right? And it's crazy how she had that Vonnie on her chest up until recently. Now the child is due to be born. Like, why is that? This is a sad situation. Listen, he made a mistake. He wanted to make up for it. He wants to be a father to his child. He should not be cut out of his child's life. I don't care how emotional, I don't care how angry she is. Don't take it out on the children. You don't have to have a relationship with him. I'm pretty sure Vonnie will do whatever it takes to make sure that child is comfortable. You don't need no stepdaddy in that child's life, because I guarantee you, Megan Denise, you're not going to find another man that's going to love your child more than Von Miller. You're not. You may think you will, but you won't. And that's the mentality of most of these modern women. They always think that a stranger is going to treat their children better than a biological father. Now, you do have biological fathers out here who are terrible dads, who are terrible human beings, and should not be in their children's life because they are a danger to them children and themselves. But in her situation, the mentality that she has, she really believes that another man is going to be able to raise that child better than Von Miller. We all make mistakes. He should be able to atone for his mistakes by being able to help raise and mentor that child.